Mishnah Berachot, chapter 8, Mishnah Gimel 3. Bet Shammai Omrim, Mekaneach Yadav Bamapa. Bet Shammai says, you wipe your hands on the cloth, Umanicha al hashulchan, and you can place it on the table. Ubet Hillel Omrim ala keset, you should place this cloth on the pillow. Now this is talking about a meal again, and doesn't even necessarily have to be that it's a Shabbat meal. Just talking about Tum'ah and Tahara again, impurity. Liquid is always something to worry about, because again the rabbis made that if something has liquid, then it can turn something that's a sheni, which is usually our hands, or something else, into a rishon. Could even be the foods. So a wet towel, meaning people in the olden days, they used to wipe their hands with a wet towel or towelette, just to clean up a little after the meal. Not my macharonim, that's already coming up next, we're going to talk about, but this is just cleaning during the meal, maybe towards the end. And maybe dessert is still coming. Now they would take off the grease from their hands and this wet little towel. Now it's wet. There's a wet towel. Where are you going to put this? If you put it on the table, you can make the table now turn into a rishon, and all the food on it could already start to touch and get tameh. And you don't want to make things tameh. That's why we went to wash our hands first. And Bet Hillel, that's one question. And what about on the pillow? The pillow, at least it's away from the table. It might make the pillow have something, but at least it's only that. We don't want the food to get in the way. So why would someone say put it on the table if it seems like it's proper to put it on the pillow? Now, the idea is like this. Bet Shammai, his rule is that you don't eat on a table that's tameh at all. So it's always tahor. The table should be tahor. So if wet touches a tahor table, it's not going to do anything to it. So that's fine. That's why he says, put it on the table. Manicha al hashulchan, Bet Shammai. Bet Hillel, however, he says, while the Kohanim's table has to be pure, so that nothing touches or whatever it is, and ruins the food, every person other than a Kohen, they don't have to. The table could be a sheni letumah. Now, if it's a sheni, now you got to worry about your little wet towelette. If you start putting it on the table, it's going to turn it into a rishon, and again, it could already touch the foods that's on the table. So he avoids it by saying, better to put it on a cushion, one of the cushions either that you're sitting on or in back of you or whatever it is. And that's just to handle, not to get the food to be tameh that's on the table. So this is this discussion. Again, more laws of Tum'ah and Tahara.